Yes, my fellow Dragon Ball fans, the time has come. We have received episode 1 of Dragon Ball Daima, and I must say it was sick, guys. Now, to be honest with you, I wasn't really highly anticipating this show. You know, when it was first announced, I was quite disappointed that it wasn't Dragon Ball Super that was announced that we're going to be getting a continuation of. And when I heard the plot around Daima, in that, you know, the whole cast will be turned into kids and that a huge emphasis will be on the Supreme Kai, I mean, it just didn't seem that interesting to me. But I am a big Dragon Ball fan, so the plan was always to still watch it, even though I wasn't super excited about it. But you know what? It has pleasantly surprised me, because as I said, I thought episode 1 was sick. I thought the animation was amazing. I loved the new characters they introduced. The humor was just 10 out of 10. I mean, I was cracking up like throughout the majority of the episode, and that was hugely down to the new characters who I'll be going into detail on. I mean, I just loved it, man. I mean, it wasn't an action-packed episode, but I mean, that's fine. It's just episode 1. I'm sure there will be a lot more action to come. But yeah, I will be going into spoilers on this video, guys. So if you haven't watched the first episode, then I would advise you to pause this video, go and watch that episode. You know, maybe put this video into your watch later and come back and watch it later. Unless you don't mind spoilers, then, you know, that's fine. But yeah, let's get into the episode, bro. So a good bulk of the episode is actually a recap of the Buu saga. It is in new animation. Great animation, you know, perhaps even better than the original animation we got in Z. Just insane quality, guys. And we are seeing this recap from the perspective of 2 new characters in the demon world. Now that is Goma, who is like the second in line for the throne in the demon realm, and another person called Degasu. And Degasu is the brother of the Supreme Kai, so I'm assuming that he is a Makaioshin. That term wasn't actually used, we were just told that he is the brother of the Supreme Kai. And essentially these 2 characters are watching all of the events that happen in the Buu saga for the first time. You know, they literally have it on their monitors within their castle. I don't know how they got access to this. I mean, maybe they monitor the Earth, maybe they have cameras on Earth or something, I don't know, but they're watching the events for the first time, so they're just like really surprised, and you know, seeing their former king, Demon King Gabora, being controlled by Barbody, seeing him get killed by Buu, seeing the Z fighters fight for the first time, and you know, they're amazed by their strength. Almost similar to like when Barbody and Deborah were surprised at how strong the Z fighters were in the Buu saga, and you know, they were shocked when they saw Buu get defeated. So they were clearly scared of Majin Buu, but they were super surprised in the fact that he was defeated. But at the end of that, they were almost happy, because they thought that, you know, all their enemies, all their threats were taken care of, so there's nothing to worry about. But then we get to see another new character in Dr. Arinsu, and Dr. Arinsu is the sister of Degasu. So that means Supreme Kai has another sibling, and Dr. Arinsu is essentially a researcher, and she seems like a bit of a troublemaker, because she puts like a seed of worry, a seed of doubt into Goma's mind, in stating that, you know, what if the Z fighters come to the demon realm and pose us a threat? You know, we will be wiped out. You know, if they're strong enough to defeat Majin Buu, then they can destroy us, they can wreak havoc in the demon realm. So that puts the thought into the new King Doma's mind, in thinking that, you know, they need to take care of the Z fighters. And through all their monitoring of the Earth, they see that the Earth has Dragon Balls. So their plan is to go to planet Earth and use those Dragon Balls to essentially defeat the Z fighters. But you see, since these are demons, it's stated that they can't use the Earth's Dragon Balls for, you know, like really bad wishes, like a malicious wish. They call it a dark wish or a black wish, I think they mentioned. So a white wish would be more suitable, would be acceptable. So that's why they came up with the idea to turn the cast into kids, because they thought that by turning them into kids they will be greatly weakened. But I mean, we see that didn't really work out so well in GT when Goku was turned into a kid. So it's going to be interesting to see how that unfolds. Now we find out that there is a Namekian in the demon realm, and his name is Neva Dynamic, and this Namekian created Dragon Balls in the demon realm, although the Dragon Balls in the demon realm are protected by 3 protectors called the Tamagamis, I believe it's pronounced. And these are really powerful beings that protect the Dragon Balls and prevent anybody from using the Dragon Balls, hence why they can't use the Dragon Balls on the demon realm, and thus they have to go to Earth to use their Dragon Balls. We get a glimpse of another character in the shadows, but he doesn't speak, we don't get any interactions. But based on the preview from the next episode, I think his name is Glorio, so they may be going into more detail on this character then. But anywho, the plan is to head off to Earth. It is the new Demon King Goma, Degasu, and they take with them Neva Dynamic to Earth. Now all of this is taking place right after the boot arc, so we go to Earth and we see a nice little slice of life scene at Capsule Corporation where it's Trunks' birthday. We see all the cast, Goku, Vegeta, Bulma, Krillin, everyone's there. Everyone's having a blast, having a party, celebrating Trunks' 9th birthday party, I believe it was. And eventually, in normal Goku and Vegeta fashion, they go and have a little sparring match, and I really loved this sparring match. You know, it was funny because it started off like a chilled, easygoing little sparring, and then the intensity keeps upping and upping and upping now, and Vegeta's getting good shots off, Goku's getting good shots off. Like, I was just disappointed that it ended quite quickly, but I mean, it's all good. I enjoyed it anyway. But following this, we end up going to Kami's lookout, and that's where Goma and Degasu and Dynamic from the demon world head off to straight away. That's their first stop, going straight to Kami's lookout so that they can obtain the Dragon Balls. Now they meet with Dende and Popo and let them know their intentions, that they plan on using the Dragon Balls, and let's just say Dende isn't very happy about this, but there's not really much he can do though. And as I mentioned, this does take place right after the Buu arc, and as you remember, at the end of the Buu saga they did use the Dragon Balls, so at this point the Dragon Balls have turned into stone, although what comes in handy is Neva Dynamic. So as I mentioned before, he'd originally created Dragon Balls, and he has a special connection to all Dragon Balls, as he's able to summon the Dragon Balls where they're scattered all across the earth, and he restores them to normal, so they're no longer stone. He restores them and they're able to use these Dragon Balls. So they summon the eternal dragon Shenron and they make their wish to turn the cast into kids. Now, to be specific, the wish is to turn the adults into first graders and turn the kids into babies. So it was very specific. Shenron made sure that they specified the ages it was Goma who was making the wish, and that was the decision to turn the adults into first graders and the kids into babies. So the Gokus, Vegetas, Piccolos, etc., they will be first graders, and people like Goten, Trunks, they will be babies again. So that is how the episode ended, and as you all know, Shenron grants 3 wishes, so there are 2 more wishes remaining. Goma did mention what his second wish would be, and he mentioned something about obtaining the evil third eye, which is this really strong weapon found in the demon realm that had been lost eons ago, and supposedly by obtaining this weapon it will grant the user unimaginable power. So that was the second wish, and the third wish was to grant their Namekian friend 1,000 additional years on his lifespan, because this Namekian is thousands of years old. He's a really old, decrepit man. He looks like he's close to croaking it. So those are the 3 intended wishes. They made their third wish, which is turn the cast into kids. The second wish is to summon that evil third eye, and the third wish is to add 1,000 years to their Namekian friend. We'll see if the following two wishes actually go according to plan, but something tells me there might be a spanner in the works. Now, there were some really interesting facts that they pointed out in this episode which I thought were pretty cool. For one, they stated that the Namekian race all originated from the demon world. And it's not surprising given the fact that King Piccolo was referred to as a demon King Piccolo. But it was cool how they pretty much cemented that in this episode in stating that the Namekians originated from the demon realm. But I wonder how they started off in the demon realm and then, moved to the outer world and had their own planet Namek. I wonder if they're going to delve into that backstory. That would be pretty cool, I'd say. And it was funny how they emphasized on the fact that those in the demon realm have pointy ears and the Namekians have pointy ears, and they mentioned that a few times. It was just quite funny how they kept referencing pointy ears being the correlation to those in the demon realm. Another interesting point is that we saw Supreme Kai and Kibito at Trunks' party, and they weren't fused anymore, although there was a retcon here. After all, in Dragon Ball Super, when they defused, they stated this came about from using the Namekian Dragon Balls, although in this episode it was Buu that helped them defuse. As I'm sure you remember, when Vegeta was absorbed by Buu, they defused from being in the innards of Buu. So from remembering this, Kibito Kai came up with the great idea to have Majin Buu absorb them so that they would defuse. So that was a little retcon there in the way that Kibito Kai defused. So that was another interesting point there. And overall, I just thought it was a great first episode. They're just easing us into what is to come. Animation was great, humor was great. I love the new characters, as I mentioned. It was a 10 out of 10 episode for me. But let me know what you guys thought of this episode in the comment section below. Did you enjoy it? Were you disappointed in it? I'm curious to hear. But that's my video for today, guys. I will catch you in the next one. Take care.